So next question. So our fundraiser, that Rockin Bard, how will it support Mousetrap Theatre Projects? Our target is £300. So, you know, how would that help you?
Well, as you can imagine, during this time, funding is always difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But we're, you know, really hoping that theaters are going to be open sometime in the late spring or maybe early summer. So that £300 will help a lot of young people go to the theater. You know, that's what we'll use the money for, to make sure that those young people who never thought they could go, who can't afford it, can go. But the other aspect of what you're doing is that we believe so strongly in the power of theater and the power of words. And obviously Shakespeare is our greatest ever playwright. And to expose people to Shakespeare, maybe who don't know him, is very special. Or to engage people, you know, with those sonnets, you know, and you just never know who's the next great poet, do you? Or who's going to be really moved by the music, you know, of the poetry. And so it really fits with our belief that theater and all that comes with it is such a powerful tool and experience, and that it has lots of ways in which people will engage with it. And you never know. And that's what's so exciting. You never know. It was so wonderful hearing the inauguration, to hear that young poet, for example, Amanda Gorman. I mean, you know, she was 22, and her poetry, I think, took the nation by storm, probably took the world by storm, you know? So.
Yeah. I think so. She got a lot of talk over here. You know, they talked a lot about her over here. She was like the youngest poet or something at inauguration. So, yeah.
And I think so many people, I mean, we will really promote your sonnets to our young people and our families. We really want them to listen and take part in that. And, you know, for so many people, there, again, like there's a fear of theater, there's a fear of poetry, isn't there? People think it's such a, you know, oh, I couldn't read a poem, you know, but when you hear it performed by an actor or some, you know, or somebody with a wonderful voice,
it's completely different.
Completely different experience. Yeah.
And there is also a fear of Shakespeare, which is why we went with the title That Rockin Bard. Because if we can, although we do have tranquility as an element to it, if we can actually have some more modern upbeat tempo music, we've got animation as well in it, and cinematography and actors. So we're trying to pull several different ranges in order to engage young people, and hopefully their parents and their families and their friends as well.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. And they're just walking through a new door, aren't they? And that's what opening doors.
Opening doors, and that's what we really like to achieve. So excellent. Oh, good answer. I think you've kind of answered this question already, this next one.
Yeah, okay.
But I'll ask it again anyway. Okay, so what support did Mousetrap Theatre Projects give families and schools during the lockdown periods?
Oh, we've been doing loads. As I mentioned earlier, we went seamlessly, I think, from working, you know, face to face to working online. We started with something called Every Home a Theater, where for 8 weeks in a row, we gave, beginning in April, we gave families a challenge. So challenges were to make a comedy, to do a mystery, to do a musical, to do puppetry. And we had well over 100 families who created these little videos. And the families loved them because it was sort of time out, but time together. And they were imaginative and funny and silly. And you could see the families having a great time. So that was our first kind of engagement with families. We then ran 2 competitions. We ran a competition called the Monologue Slam, and we had well over 100 young people from across the country doing a monologue. And our patron, Eddie Redmayne, gave them 5 tips, and that was fantastic. And we chose, he helped us choose the finalist. But we really had trouble deciding. They were fantastic. Then we did we called it a Mousetrap musical medley, another competition with singers. Both of these competitions for young people 14 and over. You won't be surprised to hear that for the Mousetrap musical medley, that most of the entries were from young girls, young women, you know. There were very few from young men.
Yeah.
And they were mostly either West End or Broadway musicals. And they were fabulous again. We had, I think, 87 entries. And again, Rachael Tucker, who's in Come From Away,
yeah.
Agreed to help choose the finalist. And she was great.
She's good, yeah.
Oh, she's great. Then we did something called Story Busters. We work a lot with young people with special needs, and I haven't really talked about that, but anyway. And this was a project that we ran. We ran a project for deaf young children between the ages of about 7 and 13 online, where each week we took a different story, and it was signed, but and text. It was captioned as well. And then after the story was read or performed, then we did a workshop looking at that story and what young people could learn from it. And, you know, it was really fabulous. We did our Mousetrap Awards. Every year our youth forum does awards, and this year there were 14 awards, and they range from kind of standard things like, you know, best actor in a musical to things like sexiest cast, or set I'd love to live in, or you know, costume I'd love to wear, you know, a whole range of with their own take on it. And we did that online this year. It was fantastic. We got fabulous cooperation from the winners, people like Sam Tuddy, who was in Dear Evan Hansen, won several awards actually. Everybody was great, and we put it together, and it was quite professional. And the presenters were members of our youth forum. There were 9 members of our youth forum who were the presenters, and it had sort of a running story all the way through. Anyway, go to our website to see it. It was great. We did that. We ran 2 summer schools online. We ran a summer school for young people with special needs. So we did a week with them, and it was a very positive experience for these young people. They did drama work online. And then we also did one with young carers. Young carers are young people who are responsible for caring for a family member. It could be a sibling, it could be a parent, it could be a grandparent. And young carers don't have an easy time, because when other children, you know, are out playing and stuff, they're there working, you know. So we work with 4 different groups of young carers this summer. Mm-hmm. And they did drama. 3 of them did poetry. They did poetry. And they loved it. And each of them wrote their own poem and performed their own poems that we filmed. And then one group did performance skills. And then we went into the autumn programs, and we've been doing a number of playwriting projects and a whole range of other kinds of programs.
Keeping busy and achieving as much as you can, and that's right up our street. We try to do the same. So that sounds amazing. I bet they had fun.
Oh, we had lots of fun, lots of wonderful responses. Yeah, really.